allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have the agenda approval, and we had on the agenda that Mr. Holbert was going to be here from Maxis Engineering. He's had a death in the family, so he's not going to be here. So we probably just need to just make a note that he didn't appear. But when you have any changes to the agenda, anything that we need to change? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
She'll second. Okay, we have a motion second to approve the agenda. All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, we have minute approval for November the 14th. And that's in here in section 4, copy of the minutes. Does anybody have any motion or comment on the minutes for November the 14th? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Queen for approval of the November the 14th.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let me know, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, do the same thing on November the 17th. We'll entertain a motion on the November 17th minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the November 17 minutes.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the November 17 minutes. All in favor, let me know, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Okay, next we have a report by our interim city manager, Tina Monaghan.
Sorry, I didn't type up anything fancy. I just basically Miranda has come in once a week to help with finances, as we had asked her to do, to help get organized. It has been a lot of just kind of property taxes, mortgage companies wanting to come out to pay the property taxes, trash bills, basic questions, and then just some things that we had a tree down from the storm. Benny Thacker, we had flooding, all the gravel had washed out in front of his driveway, and
you said that has been
that has
taken
been,
care of.
yes, it has been fixed. Our maintenance guy has been doing a fantastic job. He got out there right away, took the gravel up there and filled that up. He's been keeping the bathrooms clean. He was cleaning out, trying to keep up on making sure the drains are clean even before the rains came, which helped. There were some that he discovered after the rains came, cleaned those out right away, and then the tree that fell down off of School Street is almost completely cleaned up. He should have that cleaned up in the next couple of days. And that's about it.
Okay. Also, you reported that we had reports of needles on the trail down there.
Yes, I did have to, we had some needles were found on the walking trail. There's been some reports of cars late at night parking over there in the playground area, so I contacted Cherokee County and they've been upping their patrols and investigating. If there's anything like that, if anyone goes on the walking trail or uses the park or anything, they advise to call 911 right away and explain the situation. They'll send someone out to collect whatever's there as evidence, and also to make sure that no one would get pricked by the needles or hurt or anything of that nature. So.
And also somebody was sleeping, apparently sleeping in the restroom.
Yes. Yes.
And that has been remedied as well, we know right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get a chance to go look at that property, the black couple up on Pickens Street who was concerned about the property being flooded
Yes.
in the rain?
I did personally, yes. And I saw, what my observation was most of it's coming from their roof, coming off their roof because there's no gutter to deter it. There is some coming off the street or the sidewalk, particularly coming down their driveway. That seems to be where the majority is coming off the road, is straight down the driveway where it's concrete and kind of directed to come down that way. And if that's the case, I don't really know how I wouldn't want to block their driveway to keep the rain from coming down there. But that's what I saw when I had gone up there the other day.
So when we dealt with that issue last time, we were going to wait and see during an actual rain.
Yeah, well, I figured
So what do we next
at the work session, that way we could all discuss it
Okay.
and
Now, is it
decide.
turning toward the house when it runs down the driveway, or is it turning,
It's kind of turning away, kind of going back along the side of the house.
but it is going up against the house, it's possibly
No.
could be. getting-
No, it's not going, what I saw, this was, I think it was Friday. Was it Friday I went up there? Whenever we kind of started the rain cycle. I didn't go up over the weekend, but I had gone up there on Friday and kind of saw how it went. And it seemed to be going down the drive. I mean, there was some pooling up there, but the majority of the water that was up against the porch was the stuff that was running right off the roof there. And kind of pooling right around the house there. So, but I figured we could discuss that at the work session in more detail.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Mike?
Yeah, I had another one.
Okay.
Which was, I got in my email for the agenda, I had this correspondence from Edith regarding, I guess, the transparency of the hiring process. That's my word for it, but did you, Tina, you ever get back to her? I mean, the other complaint was she couldn't communicate with the council, and so she raising a question on the ability to.
Okay, well, that's another thing to report. James and Kelsey both have their city email addresses. That's what's in your envelope right there.
Yeah, I got it.
They just got them this evening, so they'll need a couple of days to set them up. I had honestly forgotten about the agenda until the last minute on Friday, which is why it went out how it did. I did put the executive session to discuss the city manager position. I didn't know if that was something that we could discuss out here, which is why I didn't add it on the agenda, so that was my oversight and my fault for not
It didn't mean to be added to the agenda, but when we get all the phone calls and emails and stuff, we need to respond to them. That's my point. Was hoping that you said something to her. Guess not. So.
No, not on this I didn't. That was my bad.
Can I talk about it in public? In the public hearing?
Well,
At the end?
Yeah, there's
Take
public comment.
I can comment on
Yeah,
that?
yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Like I said,
All right.
I'm sorry
No,
I
as
didn't
long
get
as I
back to
can
you.
talk about it, okay.
I stayed late on
Nobody
Friday to get
answers
it out.
any emails here.
So.
Nothing, nada. Is like non-existent. And it shouldn't be.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, Next, we have we're supposed to have the presentation by Barry Holbert, but he had a death in the family, so like I said to begin with, we were going to have to put that off. For your understanding, he's going to come the meeting, the work session, he's going to appear.
Tentatively, he said tentatively. I haven't spoken to him, that's what he left on the voicemail, so I sent him an email, and I'll, as soon as I find out for sure.
And he had a death in the family was the reason for that. Okay.
So Mayor, we should ask Tina to kind of make that happen. You know, make an appointment with him that he'll show up at our work session in December.
Okay. Like I said, I did send him an email. I got the message when I got here at 6 o'clock, and I sent him an email out shortly thereafter, so I will follow up with him. I just didn't want to call him if he's, at a funeral, it would be inappropriate, so I'll check back with him in a few days.
Well, he said he was going to anyway,
Yeah.
I was here when he was here the last time.
Mhm.
Have you talked to him lately, Mike?
He called me to tell me he has had a death in the family, and I said, call Tina and leave a message, because I don't have the agenda or anything. I'm sure Tina could shorten the agenda. But I mean, it's a death in the family. There's
Well,
not
I
too
mean,
much
that's,
you really
yeah, we
do.
can't really say anything about that.
I just passed it on.
Okay, under the old business, we had the 2016 LMIG project completion, which includes work on Cherokee Avenue and the drainage. And I was just explaining to Tina that really we've got until which we had already approved to spend, I think you said another $7,000.
We have $9,000 left to spend that we had voted to put toward the Cherokee Avenue drainage issue.
And that report is not due to the DOT until the end of the fiscal year, which will be June 30th. So we have that long to complete that particular work.
And I'll call tomorrow just to check, just to make sure, double, triple check, and make sure we're all good with that.
Okay, well, next we have the vote to submit, and this is one thing we haven't really came up with suggestions on yet, to submit the 2017 LMIG application and define projects that will be included. That's due the December 25th. Is there a December the 20th?
December 31st.
What do we have in mind for the LMIG project for next year?
Just to let everybody know, it is, let's see here, the formula for the 2017 program is $17,616.45.
And then we have to make a 30% match, which...
Yes.
So what would anybody's suggestion? Anybody like to make some suggestions of what we're going to do with our LMIG next year?
I don't know what LMIG is.
It's the local assistance program. It's what you pay all your fuel tax, or your tax to the state of Georgia, and they kick part of it back to local governments to complete projects that they have to be related to transportation type projects. And we have to submit it to DOT, and then DOT they'll send us a check around January 1st for the $17,000, and we've got to match 30% of local funds to accomplish whatever we decide to accomplish.
And the great thing about LMIG, Kelsey, which differs from SPLOST, is that SPLOST has to be new projects. It can't be maintenance related. With the LMIG grant, we can fix roads, we can fix problems that we've already had. That's one of the great things about LMIG. And if we pick our projects carefully, we can take our match out of the SPLOST funds to where we don't even have to take it out of the general fund. It just depends on the project. If we decide, we run it through the auditor and the attorney, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, Mike?
So, Tina, on the 2016 LMIG, there's $9,000, you said?
Yes. Do you want my
And
post-it?
does the match, does that
Yes.
have a match on top of it, or does that include the match?
No, that is the LMIG actual fund,
So
that's not the
there's
match.
30% on top of it.
Yeah, here we go, that's what when Miranda had told me when we looked it up, she said we have 9,000 left to spend. And she said to make sure the projects can be matched with SPOS funds, and that would be, in order to find that out, we could speak to Jeff and or Tacey Joe, our auditor, to clarify that.
Would anybody suggest that we try to accomplish with our 2017 LMIG?
Can that be used for like the drainage problem things?
Sure. Anything to do with the roads and our infrastructure.
Well, I would suggest putting it there. That's just me, because I would not be happy about having drainage problems in my yard.
Well, and of course, we're going to have a work session between now and when that has to be submitted, so we could possibly just let everybody come up with what their suggestions would be and discuss it at the work session.
Yeah, and then Barry was also gonna kind of come with his suggestions.
Right.
That was part of his presentation that was supposed to be today, so I really want to get him in here on the 15th at our work session, because that's really gonna kind of help guide us that way. But if you guys want to take some time to kind of look around the city, or if you have thoughts like drainage, streets, curb, gutter, that kind of thing, and just kind of jot it down so we can discuss it at the work session, and then we'll still have time to get the application.
Right.
Because I can just fax that over and it's not an issue.
Okay, next item, we had, so everybody try to come up with something before our work session to see us try to accomplish with our LMIG. And then the next item is to vote on a new check signer. We need to have at least 2 check signers. My policy, I never have signed checks, so I continue that. But Mike, you're on as a check signer now.
I'm going with your policy. Yeah, you can do it.
So Mike wants to be,
No, Mike doesn't want to.
yeah, he wants to be removed, so then that leaves me and
you gotta do
Miranda.
Miranda too.
Yes, she needs to be removed eventually, but if we're gonna have her continue to do finances in the short term, we should remove her once that's done. That's what the person at the bank said, in case she would need to take care of anything or call up, because we are having her help out with the finances. To leave her on there would allow her to get information or work with the bank if she needed to, for short term, because she said she'll need to be removed as well eventually. So we need at least one for now, one new check signer then.
Well, she's not a city employee,
Hmm.
unless we enter into a contract.
Well,
Then we
she
can
can
get
contract employee, we've entered into
But
a
we have
contract.
to, where's the contract?
Did you make one up?
There isn't one. That's what I'm saying. That's just what I just said. So, I mean, and I'm fine with her doing it, but, I mean, she's not an employee of the city, and we're going to let her sign checks.
Now, we made that agreement,
Sorry?
that was she's to,
Yeah, but there's no formal contract that's been voted on or signed.
yeah, but what about our word?
Mr. Chairman?
Well, your vote is obviously worth something.
We didn't vote on it.
I thought we voted on it in the executive session.
We did.
You have to vote in a public meeting.
Public.
You can't vote in executive session, because then you don't have any transparency to what you do.
Makes sense.
Always vote in a public meeting. We didn't do that, and we don't have, Laura didn't say write a contract out, but
Well, I mean, depending on how detailed it needs to be, if you're just having a continue, it's your choice as to how you want to handle it. I would vote on it.
I would put something in writing.
Well, that just protects everybody. It protects her and it protects the city.
Would you be willing to become a check signer then, along with James?
Yes, but I do know, like this time of year, my schedule is crazy, so I don't want to get into a situation where I might not be in town and something needs to be signed.
That's why you have
That's my only,
multiple people.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it if I need to do it. I just don't want it to be where I'm not here and somebody doesn't get a paycheck.
James, how about you?
I don't mind.
Would somebody like to make a motion that we accept Kelsey and James as check signers?
You should wait until David is here.
I We don't have to wait till David is your man.
It's just an opinion.
David called up, said he had a dental appointment,
Exactly.
and
I
we
think
need
for
to
something
check
like
something.
that, you should wait for him to be here, Judge.
Well, we can wait. Can we, Jeff, can we vote at the work session or no?
You can? Yes.
Okay. That's, I mean, we could always, I mean, that's only a, well, okay. Mike, would you be willing to sign one more round of checks?
willing.
Okay, then we'll move it to when David's here and we can have a full council and everybody present and vote on it at the work session. I'll add that to the agenda. If we want to handle it that way.
Well, either yourself or Laura be in our work session.
Well, sure, one was
Don't we have enough here for a vote?
You do?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Why don't we vote on it now?
Okay.
We had dissension from the audience, and we couldn't vote.
Because,
It was just an opinion.
oh, it's just an abuse. Okay, let's vote.
Let's vote.
All right.
Okay, all in favor of
You need
accepting?
to make a motion.
Okay, who wants to make a motion?
Well, that'd be my opportunity.
All right.
If we're going.
I'll nominate, we'll do it separately for each Steiner, correct, or does it matter?
You can do both together unless somebody objects to that.
Okay.
You can move to they vote too.
Okay, well then, I'll make a motion that James Queen and Kelsey Reel be added onto the account as check signers.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Can they second?
Yes. It's not, yeah, it's not a conflict. It's not gonna benefit you financially, so.
Right.
You can vote
Okay, then I'll
and
second.
move.
Kelsey seconds. All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have the public comments. Anybody?
Edith Portillo, 1004 Laurel Lake Drive. Thank you, Mike, for saying what you said. It's very hard to send emails and nobody answers. There are no email addresses. Nobody has any response to anything.
My oath of office did not include taking emails.
You never answer anything, so I didn't send you one. I sent everybody except you. I want to know also if the position of city manager has been put in the newspaper.
My understanding was it was put in when Miranda was still here, but.
She advertised it on the GMA website, the
And,
Georgia Municipal Association website.
And did you get any response?
Yes,
Did you get
about,
resumes?
yes. yeah.
Did you, how many resumes? How many resumes do you have?
I got 6 new ones in the office and however many Miranda gave us before, which was 3.
Are you planning to interview them?
That's what the executive session,
Okay,
yeah.
I think that you should interview. Okay, we do need, this is no reflection on you, Tina, absolutely not. But I think you should have somebody that's qualified. Somebody that doesn't need training again, because that's all we spend our money on, training, and then when they're trained, they get a better job, which I don't blame at all. I would do the same thing. If I get trained for a position, I might even put my resume in here now. We need somebody with financial, that knows how to run a city financially. Because we had someone that ran the city, had no knowledge of finances, and we had the worst audit ever.
Who was that?
Who was it?
Yeah.
The mayor.
I thought you meant it was like a city manager.
No.
Okay. Sorry,
We
I
have to have
understood that.
somebody.
That's fine.
We cannot rely on falling back into what we had. And we still have the report of half that year, which is going to be doo-doo, like last time.
Yeah.
We can't have money, $30,000, hey, let's take it from here and put it over here.
No, I agree with you. I just
Okay,
wanted
we can't have that anymore.
I wanted to clarify.
And I also wanted to ask if Tina becomes city manager and the seat becomes available, when are we going to make that seat available? Are we waiting a year? Are we waiting a month, 2 months? Because that is very, very important. You will have 2 and 2, and the deciding vote will be the mayor. It's very, very important.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm just being a little naive. If that's the case, because right now you don't vote.
He doesn't because you're 5.
Okay, so if Tina were to get the job,
Yes.
does that mean like that the
He
powers
breaks
Only in
the,
title.
only in time? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. And also, that's, I would like to know, if you're going to wait to fill in case that happens, to fill the position. If you're going to just do it, in a couple of months, and then again, we're going to spend on another seat available and spend money on that again, okay? And I think that in the last meeting, Paul did say that Tina cannot be involved because she's the interim city manager, which I really don't know, Jeff, because I thought on the charter it said that any council member cannot just, go from being council to interim city manager.
I'd have to resign to be city.
No, I understand that, but even now,
You have to resign to be paid. This is really more of a designation than it is a job.
a designation, okay. Okay, those are my concerns, and you will be interviewing what you have in resumes.
I would assume so.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Mark Keller, 1005 Laurel Lake Drive. Do a recap of some of my comments from past. A while back, I suggested to the council that they consider purchasing a decent truck for the city. Snow and ice season's coming up. Are we ready to go on that? Are we ready to keep the streets passable?
We have our toolkit that we normally do it with anyway. That's what we've been doing.
Do you put out the gravel with the toolkit?
We got a spreader that goes in and the blade that runs on the toolkit.
So what I'm hearing is you're ready to go if we have inclement weather and icy streets.
We feel that we are.
Well, we do at times need a truck. Do we have a usable truck?
We do not.
Yes, sir.
But we have the toolkit, which the former council purchased to handle all of our road clearing business.
The next issue that I'd just like to make a comment on is, wouldn't it be prudent to be, throughout the year, be thinking about your LMIG projects rather than waiting until the last 2 weeks to hurry and try to find something to do?
Yes, sir.
And I hear that you're going to use some of this year's LMIG to do work on Cherokee. And what is the scope of the work that you're going to be doing?
Well, if our engineer could ever, we could have already had it curb and gutter if we had started on it 6 months ago when we guaranteed Mr. Thacker that we would complete it. But with all the engineering difficulties that we've had, we haven't been able to get it done yet, but we will. It will be part of the project. That if, when our engineer gives us what the project is, that will be part of the LMIG program for 2016.
As you go into your contemplation on the city manager position, do you intend to require them to uphold the charter and the ordinances of the city and strongly?
I would think that the council would insist upon that, yes.
And that the new city manager will be aware of their responsibilities as the supervisor of all the city staff, and that it's that the manager is the one who directs the city, and the council directs the manager as a whole, not individuals. That these are things that I would just like to be sure that are going to be a part of the process, where we've had a lot of problems in those areas in the past. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark? Mayor?
Yes.
When you said about the truck, are you saying we should buy a new truck? What were you?
Well, the point is, for many years, we had a truck for all sorts of maintenance activities within the city. We even had a truck that we could do the spring cleanups and use the truck as a source to haul off things that were brought to be disposed of that were kind of beyond the scope of a lot of households. So I think it was a valuable asset and was utilized, and they even had a time when that truck was, I guess you would say, not leased, but allowed individuals to fill up the truck after it was brought to their house and then hauled away as a service to the city, things like that, which a lot of people did take advantage of that.
See, the former council done away with that truck.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't have one. I mean, if you see a need for one, you can buy another truck.
Exactly.
So,
You're talking about like a box truck type thing?
yeah,
So
yeah,
the
it's
city
like
had a dump truck in addition to the
flatbed with a back capable.
Yeah.
It's up where the old
I saw Joey.
5-ton used to
one of
be. Yeah,
That's
that's,
broken.
Yeah.
The drive shaft's gone.
drive shaft.
Yeah. So that's,
It can be repaired if I get time to get the cartridge wheel to see what the parts cost for it. They got the parts for it.
I understood though that there was like a hole in the floorboard where you could see the ground.
Not that I know.
there.
That's what I was
It
told.
wasn't when we bought it.
No, I'm sure now.
Right.
Well, I'm a welder, I can fix that hole.
All right, so do you want me, is this something that Lamar brought it up when we're discussing, you want me to add to the work session, the discussion of the truck? Add to the work session?
I'll tell you something we could look into, because it's like, especially if you're gonna have people here talking about it, and it's something that the people in the city want, they're paying taxes.
You're talking about $30,000 for a used truck too.
But at the same, I mean, there's both sides of that, whereas you can keep dumping money in, you know, to something where it depends on how far gone that one is
Yeah.
what I guess I should say, because, you know, throwing good money after bad, at the same time, you don't want to get it over your head either way.
There is money set aside in the SPOS money to purchase a new truck. I'm not sure the amount off the top of my head, I'd have to double check on that, but I can add that to the.
$40,000, which won't buy a truck. But you said, James, you were looking into the drive shaft.
Right.
I don't know how much the drive shaft was lost or whatever, you know, that's happened here in town.
Right.
And, you know, I'm not empowered to do anything about it anyway, so I don't know how much the drive shaft was lost. But if you would look in to see, if
Yeah.
you're talking about Crest Auto Parts.
Crest, yeah.
You know, if you wanted to take that upon one project that you got to look into, you could certainly do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, I just like to, for you to be mindful of, as Kelsey mentioned, just how much money do you want to spend on something that's not gonna be really serviceable. At some point, you probably gonna have to make that decision and get it in your budget to buy a truck. Yeah, I mean, it's just like everything else, you need it.
I think when I bought that truck, I didn't pay $5,800 for it, one owner.
How long was that?
20 years ago.
2000? Year 2000.
16 years ago.
That truck is doo-doo, okay? It's been doo-doo for a long time.
Put up to, put up with.
Okay, I did think of one while you were talking there. I mentioned before that there are bollards over there where you can block off the road into the ballpark. I mean, yeah, into the ballpark, which somebody could do every afternoon at closing time. And you wouldn't have people driving in there. There's holes in the ground, all you gotta do is put those posts in there, like a chain across it.
Yeah, something
They'll
definitely
take
needs to
care
be
of it.
done. Because even my daughter saw the other day, there was a car that was literally driving like into the trail and then they would turn around and come back to the
Yeah.
park. About like 6 times. Because she
Yeah.
finally came down and she's like, Mom.
When you provide something like that, you're just inviting a certain element to go in there.
Especially when they're finding
Have some
needles and
trouble.
stuff back there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next we have what the, you think about, I guess that's, anybody else have any comments?
John Monaghan, 3029 Cypress Cove, Florida. Does anybody have an idea, and this is just hypothetical, of what the average city manager's salary is in the state of Georgia?
I know what it is for the city of our size.
Doesn't matter, state of Georgia, the average.
It's pretty high. It's kind of like the thing with the police chief.
65,000 plus benefits.
Yeah,
Do you know what the highest is?
probably 100.
138,000 plus benefits. This city, the size it is, and the budget that this city has, is not going to find a person that is going to actually physically come here, stay here more than a year, for less than that kind of money. They may tell you that they will when they come, but I pretty much remember the last time when we were hiring Miranda, Miranda sat and said that she planned on staying here and not going anywhere at all. 6 months, bunch of training, she's gone.
That's what I said.
Okay. This has no reflection either towards my wife if she takes this position, because she knows where I stand on this. Totally. I've told her I wanted to just resign from it all and walk away from it all because it's turning into a disaster, and I don't want her to go down with the disaster.
No,
But
believe me.
what she does is on her own, and I support her either way, it doesn't matter. But I've watched my wife do something this week. I watched my wife come here every day for free, try to do the best that she could do, find out things that, you know, should have already been done and should have already been taken care of, weren't taken care of, you know, frustration. But she can handle things, and she can handle things probably better than you could actually give her credit for. I've watched that woman get a master's and a bachelor's degree done in less than 4 years. Not a lot of people I don't really think could actually accomplish what she's accomplished with that and the amount of time she's done it. But you're going to have and going to continue to have the same problem over and over and over and over again here unless you, whoever you do decide to hire, has a contract that states that they're going to stay here more than a certain amount of time. Because as small as this city is and what actually needs to be done here, they're not going to sit here, even if you pay them $60,000 a year, they're not going to sit here and they're not going to deal with having only 2 employees or 2.5 employees and have things be the way that they are. This city has no money. It doesn't have a high budget. They're not going to sit here. They're just not.
I'm
I've looked at things. You're gonna get people that are gonna come and they're gonna say, yeah, because they may need a job right now and they need the money right now. The minute they find something else, they're gone, because that seems to be the pattern that keeps going on here. You had one of the top city managers around. She lasted, what, a month? Do you think she lasted a month because of the situation? No, she lasted a month because she knew she'd be going nowhere and she'd be hurting her reputation that she built over the years by staying here. That's why she left. Do you think Miranda left because of the way things are going on here? No. She left because she knew that it was going to continue to be the same thing and she was going to go nowhere with it. And she got offered more money to go somewhere else and out the door she went.
So
when that woman, I remember her promising when she got hired that she would do that. And she would not leave.
They're all set.
So,
Conclusion.
conclusion that I'm starting to think here is, you need to shut the city down. You need to turn it over to the
That's
counties.
what I said last
You need to be done.
last month.
Or you need to hire someone, like my wife, or someone of that caliber, that's gonna agree to stay here and not get all of this training, because once they have that training, their resume goes to this level and they can walk out and they can make 65 at minimum, or higher money. I mean, it's that simple.
Excuse me.
You stay here, get trained, and then you can leave and make more money.
Please, the gentleman's talking. Go ahead.
My wife knows that if she wants to do this, if you guys choose for her and offer it to her, she knows where I feel on it. If she wants to take it, that's up to her. But she also knows that I told her that if she doesn't do the city manager thing, and you go and you hire somebody else, and they do exactly what they're gonna do, which is exactly what has been going on, I asked her to resign from the council and not do anything with it at all.
Thanks, sir.
Can I say something else, please?
No, ma'am, you've had your chance.
I ask the council, please. I'm asking the council.
Mr. Councilman.
Can I say something?
No problem.
Thank you. What you said is exactly what I said, okay? But you shouldn't have stood up here and talk about Tina. You're the husband. I understand this is, I have nothing against Tina, okay?
It's my fault, my fault.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I still think that you should interview the people that you have in the resume. Okay? Because you don't know, I mean, I don't know Tina, okay, that well, in the sense, she might learn how to do this and get an offer and leave. That could happen to anybody. I don't begrudge that to anybody. Because if you're gonna go to something better, more power to you.
Is it possible to have like a non-compete thing set up, so if you
A
do like a non-compete? Well, I mean, it's just if the situation, you know, like Edith's saying, it's like we do have, it's like an open door. There's been like 8 girls that have taken this job since we've been here in 3 years. They're coming in, they're getting the training, and they're leaving.
One
But if
thing
you
you
have
can
a,
do is have an agreement that if you don't stay for a certain period of time, that you are gonna pay the city back to yourself.
yeah,
That's
that,
right.
Oh,
something like that, just so it kind of gives some stability in the sense that if we're dishing out the money.
Anybody will leave.
That's an option.
I mean, I think that's kind of typical with companies
It's a
too.
choice. I mean, you can leave, but know that then you're gonna owe the city.
Mark just did that, the dog training he went to, if he leaves within a year,
Right.
he has to pay him like $10,000 for the training in Connecticut.
Exactly.
So people don't leave, they stay.
Sure.
It's like a 2-year taper thing, like it tapers down over a period of time.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to resign to the
Thank
executive
you.
session.
Is this, may I ask, the purpose to discuss the process or to discuss individual candidates?
I think we have several applicants that we were going to discuss the
individual
process
candidates.
and
If it's something specific about Tina, I know she couldn't be in there. Is that what you're asking?
Well, it's the question whether we're gonna go back there or discuss it out here. If you're just discussing process, you need to do it out here. If you're gonna be discussing the individual applicants, then you can do it in an executive session. So just checking to see.
I think we should talk about process.
sure.
What is it?
Normally we review the application and decide who's going to fill the process that we need or the position we have an opening for.
So do we have all the resumes to look at?
Do we have?
I have the recent ones, the original ones that Miranda gave out, I did not reprint, but I can reprint them if you want me to go do that.
Do we have a resume for you?
No.
Are you considering yourself a candidate?
I hope so.
Yes, I guess, I just didn't, I didn't.
Well, I think she was waiting to see, because I know when we talked in executive session, she couldn't do anything until she heard from the attorney as to whether, how the process
I heard
worked.
that earlier a week ago. Attorney gave her, she gave her opinion on that she had to resign or not.
Right.
Okay, so do you guys want me to go in and reprint the original ones that Miranda had already put in her packets? Does
Are you going to
anybody
apply for
happen
the
to have
position?
those?
You need to have a resume. Unless you don't want us to consider you.
Well, I'll have to submit one. In the meantime, I can get the other ones prepared.
You're kind of putting her on the spot.
I didn't put her on
I
the
mean, I'm
spot.
just saying, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, she's kind of being put on the spot as to why she didn't have it when she hadn't been asked for it.
I'd say we're not ready, as I hear the process, or we have an incomplete process, because we don't have all the resumes,
Do you want to gather all resumes and
including
prepare
hers.
to review them at the work session?
That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
That would work.
That's a good process suggestion.
Hey, Tina, you want to prepare an application and
I can do that.
submit it, and we'll have all the applications available to us at the special meeting.
Okay.
That would be on the 15th.
But you don't have to resign to put in the
No.
application.
No.
Okay, let's get that straight.
But you gotta have an
Yeah,
resume
sure.
if you're applying.
That would be on the 15th, the work session?
Yes,
That's what you said, 15?
that is also the
That's the
same.
date of your work session.
December 15th is also the public hearing, so that the public is welcome to come and offer their input as to the situation with the police in the city.
Oh,
So
okay.
that has gone out, and it should be in both Cherokee and Pickens papers, but if you know people, let them know.
Is
that
there a
they
way
can
that
come.
we can put signs like at the neighborhoods and stuff? 'Cause I know like from the Cherokee side, I mean, we live on that side, so unless there is a reason for me to come up here, I don't ever see anything that's posted on the doors or, you know, so a lot of the people that live on that side have no idea the stuff that goes on in town. If they
Yeah, I didn't know, I mean,
papers or-
is that something we can post at the post office?
Tracy, they're not interested.
I put it at the door.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like even when we went, like with the voting stuff that went on.
They're
the
not
only reason I
interested.
knew-
They talk, but they don't do nothing.
I know, but I'm saying, the people that I have talked to don't know when the meetings are, they don't know
No,
the stuff that's going on.
I agree with that. But they don't care. They don't care. They don't. Look. Who? Him and me. That's it.
I get it.
Okay, if we're not going to have an executive session, we'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn,
I'll second it.
motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, let me know, raise your right hand.